Okay, shalom and welcome back, my Hebrews and Shebrews. Got cut off on that video again. I don't know what's wrong with this stupid phone. I hate iPhones, first of all. But my company makes me have one, so there we go. Um, the verse I was looking for a while ago in the video on when we receive our salvation was 2 Peter 3:8. It says, "Beloved ones, let not this one matter be hidden from you, that with Yahweh 1 day is 1,000 years, and 1,000 years is 1 day." That's also in Psalms 90, verse 4. All right, now I got to run down here to the store and get me some coffee because my coffee pot broke. Just a beautiful day for the old field disciple. Flip you around. Many people use that verse um, to explain in the beginning that God's created time of 6 literal days, could be 6,000 years. Um, la la la. That is not what it's talking about. All Peter's telling us right there is that God lives outside of the element of time, and that for us to understand Yahweh, we have to come out of that element of time with our minds. You know, we can't do it physically. We can do it with our minds. We can think about it. Now, if we ain't careful, it'll spin us off, and we'll wind up in rabbit holes. We'll wind up being all frustrated, and we don't really know what we're doing. But if we take it very calculated and go through the scriptures like we're doing, like I gave y'all yesterday, Colossians, which one was that? Colossians chapter 1, verse 16 and 17, Psalms 97:9, Psalms 90, verse 4. If we go in these verses, um, then we can understand what Peter's saying there. Now, Peter's given a very profound statement on that. So think about that verse. Think about what we're talking about in salvation. And I'm going to let that be. I'll see what the comments are here in a little bit. I've got to run to Hobbs, um, get Mama Bear a new washer and dryer. Seems like since we moved over here, everything is broken on us, including my coffee pot this morning. Made coffee. It was cold coffee and got me a drink. And yuck. Reminded me of Revelation 3:16. I'd rather you be hot or cold, but if you are lukewarm, I'll spew thee out of my mouth, says the Lord. Regardless of what you believe, on what I'm telling you here, when you receive your salvation, if you're comfortable, you know, believing your salvation came to you the minute you walked down to the altar and received Jesus, go with that for now. Don't let this frustrate you to the point where you turn um, and get frustrated. Uh, you're going to get frustrated when you start getting into the depths of the Lord and what His Word says. But keep digging in, and it'll eventually come to you. It took me a long time. I mean, I'm 7 years into this true walk. Uh, 10 years of apostasy and about 3 years of studying prior to walking in apostasy. Um, so really, I just claimed 7 years because prior was just a joke. Get in and read the scriptures hardcore. Just like when you fell in love with your spouse and how you wanted to call them every minute of the day. You wanted to spend every minute of the day you could with them. Um, and how lonely it was when you would depart. That's the way it gets with me in reading the scriptures um, with the Lord. I become lonely when I'm not reading the scriptures. Um, that doesn't mean that I read the scriptures day in and day out, 24 hours a day. Um, like I said, I read my 10 club. That's my basis in the morning. Sometimes in the evening, I don't get to it until the evening. And then off of that, I have the mini studies like I do with this one. You just have to get that relationship going. And you're only going to do it by digging into the Word. You're not going to do it by listening to me or listening to another pastor tell you about who God is. That's why I tell y'all to go dig in and look this up for yourself. Your relationship may be a little different than mine. Mine's a hardcore. I want to know every truth there is out there, and I seek that. Some may just be comfortable with the basics, and that's fine too. We're all called according to His purpose. Remember that. We're all called according to His purpose. Now, if you're not called, you're not called. It's just the way it is. Now, I've got another teaching that I'll do that if you're not called, of why I think and who you are. Uh, so I'll let that be the final word. Y'all be blessed, be encouraged, and be frustrated. The soul-filled disciple. And I'll catch you on the next ride.